guys, I'm Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today I'm back with a new design team project for Artesprix Iron-On Ink. And today we're going to be playing with the blank of the month. This is a decorative sign. And I know it is right now rolling into July, but you know what? I think I'm going to make a Halloween sign because I love Halloween and it is coming quick. First off, this is our sublimation blank. So the front, the white part is going to be where we're going to be adding our design. I've got some Artesprix markers. I've got the protective paper that's going to protect my desk and my heat surface. We've got a protective mat that is also going to be protecting my desk. Some gloves to protect my hands. My heat tape to hold everything in place, and it is heat resistant. And I've got a couple of things to clean my blank before I use it. First thing that we're going to do though is we're going to take a pencil and we're going to draw out the shape of our blank. Now the reason that we do this, I'm just drawing it onto some cardstock. You can use paper for this, and I'll show you why I'm using cardstock in just a minute. But the reason that we do this is so that we know where our design is going to go, because anything that is outside of it isn't actually going to transfer, right? We need to make sure everything is where we want it. I'm also doing the holes so I know where the holes are. So now we can see where that design is going to go. Now, next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the design. Now, usually, a lot of times I do this with stamps and dies and things, but this is a bigger project, and this time I decided I want to grab something from Design Bundles. So let's head over to their website and download an image. Design Bundles has a lot of free designs and paid designs. This one is a free design and I thought it was super cute. So this is what we're going to be using. It's the Fresh Brewed Coffee Halloween Decor SVG. So I'm just going to click download free now and going to download that onto my computer. And now that that's open, let's go ahead and unzip that. I'm just going to extract it into the folder I'm putting it into. And now we've got all of these fun designs. Now we've got the SVG and we have the PNG. I'm going to mess around with the SVG, and this time, because this is a bigger project, I'm going to use my scan and cut for this. Okay, so I've got my Brother Canvas workspace pulled up, and I'm going to start off with just adding a square on here, and I want the dimensions of my square to be 8 by 10 because that is the size of the blank that we're going to be using. Coming over here to this little icon over on the right hand side where I can edit this, and here we go. So now that I click back onto it, you do have to, after you select it, click back onto the shape. Make sure that you check off your maintain aspect ratio, because if you don't uncheck this, it's going to stay a square and we want it to be a rectangle. So I've got it 8 inches high and I want it to be 10 inches wide. So now it's got the size that we want. Now we're going to import in the SVG. So import from your computer. I'm going to grab that folder and just copy the folder name and paste it right up top. This is a shortcut that I do a lot. And then we're going to pull in the SVG. There we go. And now we're going to select it. I'm going to select everything except, let me do one more thing. I'm going to put, we've got all of the different pieces, and I am going to do a little bit of changing of all the things. I'm going to hide everything except for my rectangle. In order to show everything, I'm going to hit Control A, and that selects everything. Now I'm going to go under Layer and hit that hide button again, and it should unhide it. It did not unhide it. Oh, hit the Show, which is also Control Plus. So now everything is showing again. So now I need to grab all of them. I'm going to group them together just so that I can do some resizing without shifting anything around. I want the height to be the same. So we've got the height, and then we'll put this right in the center. And then I can move things around a little bit. Okay, we're going to ungroup it, and that's again under Layer. And now I can move some of the things around. So I want to group everything together so that it is going to, basically I want to make sure that I'm able to flip it. This has to be mirrored. So now we're going to select everything and we're going to group it all together. And then we can flip it. And to do that, we go under Edit and then to Flip, and then we're going to just flip it horizontally. So now it is exactly the opposite. The reason that we do this is because we're going to use our Scan and Cut to draw all of this, and we may need to make sure it's mirrored, otherwise the words will be backwards on our sign. So now I'm going to send that over to my Scan and Cut. I think I want to save it first, and I'm going to save it as Fresh Bood. Now, before we send it over to the Scan and Cut, there was something I forgot to do. I have all of this set to cut, so I had to change it to draw, and now I'm just filling it in with another color so I know that I've got it done. Everything, of course, except for that square. So we're going to have the machine draw out everything, and I'm actually going to hide that initial rectangle. The rectangle was just there to let us know the size of everything that we're wanting to go with. Next, we're going to retrieve the data from where we just exported it out of the software. So we hit Retrieve Data. We're going to select the cloud so it can come over via Wi-Fi. And then we're going to need to scan in our cardstock. And I'm using cardstock because it's going to work better with the sticky mat. Anyway, I'm going to use a cardstock and I'm going to scan it in so I can make sure to get everything lined up the way I want it. So now we need to take care of the marker. So the Scan and Cut does have some extra accessories. One is the universal pen holder, pops into its little carrier thing, I'm not sure what that's called, and we just pop the pen in, line it up down at the bottom, and then we can just turn this gray part on there to lock it down. And with the Artesprix marker locked in place, now we can take it over to the Scan and Cut and it will do all of our drawing for us. So to install the marker, I'm just going to take out my blade. So I lift up the little flap. I'm going to put the marker in that entire universal pen holder right in its place and then lock it back down in place. Now I can go ahead and start my Scan and Cut, let it know it's okay to go ahead and draw. So this is turning out fabulous. The downside is it's taking forever to actually draw and color in all of it, but the machine is doing everything perfectly, so I don't have to worry about anything being, outside the lines. So there are a couple of advantages or disadvantages to doing it in this fashion. I mean, you guys are probably saying, I could have cut that out with my electric cutting machine and put some vinyl on something and we'd be done. And yes, you could. But that also means that it could possibly scrape off at some point in time. When you do this with Artesprix iron-on ink, sublimation ink, it stays on. And this is a way you can use your regular supplies, dual use guys. You can use your regular supplies, your regular machines, things you use for other things, and create some fun sublimated items. Now, you could do this a lot faster also if you have a sublimation printer. I don't have a sublimation printer. I'm not willing to put in the extra expense for that. So this is a great option for me. I could also have just had it trace it and then colored it in myself. And it would probably not have taken quite this long, but how much you want to bet I would have gotten something outside the lights. Anyway, it's almost done. It's almost done coloring everything in, which means it's almost time for us to get this actually heated up and put onto our sign. So I am trimming my whole panel down to that 8 by 10 shape. I was going to try folding it over the edges. I tried a couple different things. I'm going to be honest, this is my second round. I messed up the first one because since I wasn't able to tape it down as well as I wanted to, yeah, it kind of slipped as soon as I used my Easy Press on it. So this time we're not going to be using the Easy Press. Yeah, anyway. So I'm trimming this down so that I'll be able to tape it right to the edges of my sign. So trimmed off all the edges. So now it is 8 by 10 approximately. And then I'm going to tape it onto the white side of my panel. Just putting a couple pieces of the heat resistant tape on each of the corners so that it cannot slide. I'm not taking any chances here because I really didn't like reprinting this out. So this was, I told you guys I used my ScanNCut. You saw the process. That actually takes about 3 hours because it colors everything in. It also puts it down with a very nice coat of ink, so you get plenty of ink. You don't have any of the color that's going to look washed out. I've had that happen sometimes if I don't color in with enough ink or put enough layers down. So I wanted this to be real dark black, so although I didn't have to the second time around, I could have just, you know, did the outline with my ScanNCut and had it not fill. There is a way to turn off the fill. So this time though, I did the fill. It took 3 hours, so that finished up last night. And this morning, I am getting everything finished up. So again, I'm just putting some of the heat-resistant tape onto each of the corners to hold everything in place, and then we're going to put it in our sublimation sandwich and put it in our heat press. Now that everything is taped down, we can make our sublimation sandwich. So we're using some Artesprix protective paper. This is a siliconized paper. So the bottom layer is going to be, think of like a hamburger bun. The bottom layer is like your bun. The blank is your meat. The design is going to be your cheese, and then the other piece of the paper is going to be your upper bun. I like doing it with just a fold, but you could use 2 pieces of the paper. That'd be fine. Now that that is all together, we're going to go ahead and put this over onto our heat press. I checked the temperature on the website to see what it's supposed to be for this specific blank. You always want to check with your blank to see what heat and time you want to use for that specific blank to get the best result. I've already had this heating up a little bit. It's almost ready, but the heat is supposed to be 400. And then the time is going to be 105 seconds. So I'm just setting the timer there. Okay, so it's going to be 105 seconds for 400, and like I said, it's almost ready to go. So let's go ahead and put this in. Again, we've got the siliconized paper on the bottom, we've got our blank with the design facing the heat, and then we've got our next piece of paper. And we're going to go ahead and just press this for 105 seconds. Make sure I've got that in there far enough. And this is pretty warm, so I am using a heat glove to take this off. Then we're going to take it over to our desk and take a look. So I've given it a little time to cool because it was very hot. And let's go ahead and take a look. That looks great. We have a really dark black sneak peek. Let's go ahead and remove the rest of the tape and see our full sign. Fabulous! This is going to go great in my kitchen. So there we go. A great Halloween coffee, yeah, two of my favorite things, sign to go around my little coffee area in my kitchen when Halloween rolls around. I think this turned out fabulous. Love, love, love it. So this is just another way that you can combine your cutting machines with Artesprix inks to make something fabulous for your house. You guys have a wonderful day. Be sure to tag me if you make anything similar to this, and be sure to tag Artesprix. You guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Okay, guys, thank you first off for staying through the entire video. Thank you so much for that. As an extra bonus, I don't really want to do this. I'm going to share with you what happened on my first round when I did the first sign. And it shifted because I couldn't get everything taped on well enough. And usually I don't have a problem with that, but this is so big and the cardstock was so rigid that, yeah, it shifted. I think it shifted immediately as soon as I put my heat press down, and that's what I got. So, you know what? I think I got a lot of extra ghosting. It does look kind of creepy, but it isn't the look that I wanted. So yeah, this can happen. It's a lot of ghosting. I'm thinking that when I first put it down, I got this first line here and then it shifted over immediately, and yeah. Anyway, don't do that, guys. Make sure you tape everything down very, very well. So don't do this. You guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.